Live images from East Hartford, Connecticut. Rain has just moved in to the region and will be a factor throughout this U.S.-Mexico showdown. There is even the threat of thunderstorms on the horizon. We talked to U.S. Captain Becky Sauerbrunn yesterday. She told us there is a real resiliency and defiance to this team, an attitude best summed up by the title of a certain documentary that just kind of came out the other day. The world's most dominating national team set to line up in Connecticut tonight, and there's going to be this compare and contrast constantly when you're a program of the stature that this U.S. women's national team is. So, Heather, this version of the U.S. women's national team, how do they rate to, say, the World Cup winners in 15 and 19?
Yeah, I think Becky said, let's freaking go. And I think that has been a motto of the U.S. team from the very beginning. Listen, I don't want to be always talking about the past and back in my day, but we were a special group in 2015. I think players like Abby Wambach, Christy Rampone, Shannon Box were really influential to the game and to this program for so long. But this team is very well balanced. They have a lot of players that can play in a lot of positions. So a really talented group. And the game does continue to evolve. So I think that they're well positioned to win this thing. But they're in a long line of very successful teams.
Megan Rapinoe in the starting 11, as is Alex Morgan. Two of the faces of the U.S. women's national team program right now, Heather. They're up next for them is obviously the Olympic game. Is it gold medal or bust for this program, as always?
Always, absolutely. Anything less than gold is a failure to the U.S. women's national team program. It's a certain level and a certain standard and certain expectation that's ruthless. I mean, it is razor sharp at that top. But it's something that the U.S. team just absolutely thrives on. Every time that this team has pressure, is involved in controversy, Lex, you know they love controversy. It almost seems like they rise up and rise their game even farther.
Those distractions do not seem to get in their way.
They love them.
Time now for the 40th all-time meeting between the U.S. and Mexico, a matchup that the U.S. has only lost once. For the call, Allie Wagner and the Hall of Famer, J.P. Dellacamera.
Thank you so much, Rob. USA getting ready to take on Mexico. U.S. in those new red and blue jerseys. Vlatko Andonovski is the head coach of the U.S. national team. He's not lost in 21 games, 20 wins, 1 draw. Only 4 goals allowed. Just once in the first half. His team has only trailed once under his direction. And Ali, he's got a star-studded lineup.
Yeah, and a lot of consistency, especially in that back group. This is clearly his starting defensive unit of Dunn, Dahlkemper, Sauerbrunn, O'Hara, with Nair and Ned. In the midfield with Ertz still out, recovering from injury. Horan will slide into that number 6 spot. And similarly with Lavelle out, Christy Mewis gets a second straight start. She'll slide in alongside Sam Mewis in those double 10 roles. And then up top, Rapinoe leading this team in this calendar year with 7 goals. Morgan slotted centrally. And Press coming off back-to-back woman of the match performances with the Summer Series will get another start tonight. And then for Mexico, Monica Vergara is coming out in a 4-2-3-1. She lined up this way against Spain, a team that oftentimes is going to have more possession. They're going to be defensive-minded with Jimena Orejel, Rodriguez, and Sierra in that back line. The double sixes of Bernal or Antonio looking to clog up those central spaces and deal with the 10s of the U.S. But this is all about releasing number 10, Mayor. She is an incredible playmaker for Mexico, and she's going to be the one to start their transition game.
Our match referee is Katia Korleva. Our captains, Becky Sauerbrunn and Stephanie Mayor. Ali, what are your keys to the game?
I mean, with this lineup, look, the U.S. should impose himself on this Mexico side, but it's got to be sophistication in attack because Mexico likely is going to be forced to be pinned in and sit deep, and it's breaking down that bunker. So making the right decisions. If they're higher, can you find the space behind? If not, what rotations can you use to pull out the opposition? And then ultimately, the offensive to defensive transition, because Mexico is going to want to play on the break, and ultimately that comes down to Horan's positioning and the defensive balance that she can provide in midfield to clog up those spaces.
Rob was mentioning that weather could be a factor in this one tonight. You see what the forecast is. It's already been raining, and more rain is on the way. The newest sisters are in the starting 11. First sisters to ever be on a senior national team for the U.S. in any major tournament, Olympics or World Cup. On that whistle, we are underway from East Hartford, Connecticut. Sauerbrunn to Abby Dahlkemper. One of a few players who have changed their number. She's now 17. She was 7 during the Olympics. You're numbered 1 through 18. Dahlkemper led the team in minutes the last couple of years. We'll find Kelly O'Hara to the right. And now back for Sauerbrunn. Crystal Dunn, very steady left back. Off that deflection. Bouncing towards Rapinoe, was out for a throw-in. She got it in quickly. Morgan's on the move. Alex Morgan will settle things down. Broken up. Mexico back on the ball. They'll play it back to Alvarado in goal. Sanchez lost it there. Mexico will try to break out. That is Maria Sanchez, number 11, in the white of Mexico. One of several on this team with U.S. connections. She was Idaho-born, went to Idaho State and also Santa Clara.
That's right, a former Bronco.
Antonio will push it back. Yakasera got it upfield. She was looking for Kiana Palacios, but the U.S. will take over. Dunn for Dahlkemper. Kelly O'Hara. A couple of goals wins in Kelly's international career. One in Olympic qualifying, one of the 2015 Women's World Cup, the game against Germany. Driven long, right side, press. Sam Lewis in line. The cross stopped there by Emily Alvarado.
And this is a good rotation for the United States. They've got maximum width with press holding her line on that touch line, and then Sam Hughes gets that underlap coming, surging forward. Doesn't make a good cross of it. When we talk about sophistication in the attack, those are little details that need to happen. They didn't do that enough against Nigeria in their last game. Get those attacking midfielders involved with runs coming out of midfield and creating the space for that to occur. Press did well on that last one.
Throw in O'Hara. For press. Back for Kelly O'Hara. Into the middle, that's picked off. And lost out. Sanchez was over there on that side. Was just on loan to the Houston Dash for the month of June. Will go back to her club team, Tigres. 8 players on this Mexican side play for the Liga MX champion, Tigres. Sienna up the wing. Was denied by Sauerbrunn. O'Hara. Kristen Press. Wanted to give and go with Mewis instead. Maria Sanchez got it. Left sideline. Stephanie Mayor, one of Mexico's better players. Could argue that she is their best. Moran bothered there. Dahlkemper. Today's telecast is sponsored by Volkswagen, the presenting partner of U.S. Soccer. The done pass ahead. Christy Mewis moving it. Race for the ball, but Emily Alvarado is there. She was Mexico's youngest player at the 2015 Women's World Cup. Didn't play in that, but had the benefit of being there and being a part of what took place. Her first cap was against the USA back in 2019. Sauerbrunn back. Alyssa Nair from Stratford, Connecticut. Moving it upfield. Dahlkemper. Sauerbrunn. It's intended for Dunn. It went out of play. What are we expecting tonight, Ali, from Mexico?
You know, that's what I'm trying to get a good sense of, JP, is just where their initial line of confrontation is. And it looks like it's going to be around the top of the circle or so. They're confronting with 2 just to prevent the 2 center backs from playmaking or initiating. And then just sitting deeper and absorbing and really looking to play in transition. Ultimately, they like to play a few short passes and then go long and get underneath it in these moments right here.
And they break ahead. Mayor has to settle it. Now she'll start back. Open player, Sanchez on the left. Ball is played back post. Headed once by Dunn. Collected, though, by Mexico. They'll keep it alive. Intended for Daniela Espinosa. Christy Mewis was defending. It's a Mexico corner. 6 minutes gone. Same 2 teams will meet, same stadium, July 5th. And then it's off to Japan for the U.S. and the Olympics. Maria Sanchez is ready. Tiana Palacios among those targets. The number 9 player is put up for grabs. Palacios was going for it. First to the ball, Mexico. Nancy Antonio. Put it in a difficult spot, but Mexico will keep it. Nancy Antonio's pass ahead. Mayor into the middle. Shot taken by Bernal over Alyssa Nair. players, Ali, on this team. New coach, Monica Vergara, first woman head coach in their history. And she's brought several of her players that used to play for her at the youth level.
Yeah, and they're excited about the energy, enthusiasm that she's brought into this squad. That's for sure. When I talked to Maria Sanchez, she said that's one of the big differences initially that they felt right off the bat.
Sierra will push it back. Sent long by Rodriguez. That's blocked. The takeaway, Dunn. Nice advantage call there. Good work from Crystal Dunn to the outside. Rapinoe slotting it. Here's Dunn. Sam Mewis making a run. The attempted cross out for a corner. Great effort from Crystal Dunn, wearing the number 2. Used to be number 19, but for the Olympics, that changed.
And the 3 first attacks that we've seen from the U.S. are getting that maximum width, and then the underlaps, the surging runs, and that half-space channel coming through. That pattern is working well.
.35-year-old Megan Rapinoe sending it in. That's denied. Dunn will get it first for O'Hara. Sauerbrunn, Rapinoe, this time off the right foot. That's headed away by Mexico. Captain Sauerbrunn will play it back. O'Hara, 9th minute, 0s on the board, sending it long, headed up. Morgan was looking for a press, but before it got there, the deflected ball finds its way to Alvarado.
Here's a look at the reservice coming in from Kelly O'Hara. The U.S. had held 3 players back. They recover the ball, and then you win the first. Alex Morgan's there for the second. Just a lofted ball. Lindsey Horan knows she's trying to dink that on. She senses Morgan behind her because she can't get enough power to shoot that on frame.
Morgan with 9 goals in 10 career games against Mexico, including 3 games in which she scored twice in each. Her debut was against Mexico, 2010 in Sandy, Utah, in a game that actually saw snow. She came in as a sub.
That doesn't happen often here.
No. I remember that well because you don't often see snow in these games. Off that throw-in. And Mexico lost it there. Christy Mewis immediately played it forward. Now gets a return ball. Tackled away from her, and she's down. Ball played towards Maria Sanchez. Help is coming on this left side. The cross there from Lopez, and that's wide. Shaking that off.
Yeah, it's a big game for Christy Mewis. It's second consecutive starts for her, and she's just trying to cut across Bernal. Bernal reaches ahead, gets the ball, and then it looks like the ensuing tackle gets
What a
Mewis.
great story, though, right? For Christy, 5 years without a cap. And now she makes the team, the only player on the 18 that were chosen that was not a part of the 2019 Women's World Cup.
And credit to the Pro League, really, for providing her that opportunity so she could stay in the game. I mean, that wasn't always the case. And then players weren't considered from our professional league.
Ball out. Both sides think it's theirs. It will belong to Jimena Lopez and Mexico. Lopez plays now for OL Reign after playing for Eibar in Spain in early 2021. Lopez pass ahead. Mayor. Sending it across on the right. Sierra. Sierra stays up top, trying to win the ball back. Could not. Rapinoe tapped it ahead. Players down. Advantage call again. Over the top. Press. Settles. Cutting. That's deflected. Mewis couldn't get to it. And now it's moved ahead. Mexico will lose it there in a tough spot. Done. Rapinoe.
And that's one of the dangers for Mexico, trying to have possession in the opposition's half. The U.S. wins it, and then the break is on. They advance into the attacking third. Lindsey Horan does incredibly well. Then to regain possession for the United States, steps in on Palacios, and then the service goes awry from Rapinoe on that left side. A lot of space out there with these wingers holding the width to get that cross off, and I think Rapinoe might have been trying to catch the goalkeeper, actually.
7 goals this calendar year for Rapinoe. Her best was 9 in 1 year in 2019. Palacios pushing it back towards Orejel. Instead, it'll go back to the goalkeeper, Alvarado. Karina Rodriguez back to her goalkeeper. Orejel, who plays for Club America, got it forward. Mexico showing some confidence here on the ball until that last pass.
They are, and that was a great decision by Orejel, because the U.S. wants to pin you wide down the flank when Alex Morgan triggers that press into Press's side, but she went against that momentum or that movement of the United States and played it back across. So many teams get stuck in the wings against the United States, and they turn over possession in advanced areas.
Dahlkemper plays down for Manchester City. Got it forward to Mewis. Towards Press, out for a throw-in for Mexico. Sam Mewis used to play for Manchester City. She's back, of course, with the North Carolina Courage. She had 16 goals there in 31 games. A fantastic season. Right sideline, O'Hara. Dahlkemper. Sauerbrunn. Going long distance. That's denied. Sent forward by Nancy Antonio. Mexico will try that right flank with Sierra. Broken up by Christy Mewis, who fouled.
Here's the challenge for Mewis. Not a lot there. On Espinosa. Espinosa actually makes her. Mewis didn't like it.
15th minute, scoreless here. USA-Mexico, 40th meeting. Mexico has only beaten the USA one time. That was it. Many years ago in an Olympic qualifier. U.S. back on the ball. Dahlkemper for O'Hara. Pushed all the way back. Right side too far. Immediately following our game, Austin FC, and beautiful Q2 Stadium is the site. They'll take on Portland, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Headed back the other way and collected. Back for Alyssa Nair. 13 shutouts for Nair in her last 14 games. An amazing run.
Well, how about the fact that they've only allowed an average of 1.5 shots per game under Vlatko Andonovski on goal? I mean, that's remarkable.
O'Hara almost tackled away. She stayed with it, and Sanchez helped to break it up. Coming all the way back. Strong defense under Vlatko Andonovski. They've only given up 1 goal in the first half and have only trailed once against Sweden. The takeaway by Horan. The cross. It was a wild one, not close enough to anyone in the red and blue. Mexico back on the ball. Jimena Lopez. Maria Sanchez. Mayor. Outside to the 25-year-old Sanchez. Used Lopez as a decoy. Goes to Mayor in the middle. Stephanie Mayor holding it. Sending it all the way across. That one got away from her. Intended for Sierra.
And here's a look at Horan. She steps in so nicely. She reads the play and then just continues with her pressure. Picks that one off from Orhel. And the service finds no one. And these are the moments that are interesting to me, JP, because now who's filling in for Horan? Because that doesn't happen often with Ertz going up and making a sojourn run. Who's going to slide into that gap? Sam Lewis looked a little bit late to recover in there. But we did see Becky Sauerbrunn step up hard into that space.
Ertz recovering from an MCL. Not available tonight, but making progress, we're told. Tobin Heath, recovering from injury, is available tonight. Sam Lewis trying to put that ball into space. Mexico cuts that off. Orejel. On this left side, Maria Sanchez. Ali, the last time we saw them was in CONCACAF Olympic qualifying, and they look more confident tonight. It's different players, granted, but they just look more comfortable on the ball than the team that we last saw in Carson, California.
100%, and that was also one of the things that Maria Sanchez alluded to with the new coach Monica Vergara, and that is that she understands what it takes to compete against the best and to get results, and they have a new sense of confidence against these top teams. They played Japan, they played Spain. Those are their last matches coming into this game tonight.
Yeah, they lost them both, but that'll make them better.
Absolutely.
Better teams.
And they shifted tremendously from that 5-1 loss to Japan into that game against Spain.
Nancy Antonio's long pass, right side. Sierra. Nice cut. Options there. That was not the right one. U.S. collects. Trapped by Sam Lewis, and then that's given away. Antonio. Jimena Lopez. Sanchez. Orejel. Long ball, no one near it in white. The O'Hara header. Sanchez used her body well to get to that ball. Help there from Orejel. Jimena Lopez off that left foot. Right to the arrow. 20th minute, U.S. breaks. Christy Mewis. Up that left side, a cutting ball back to Horan. Press trapping it. Kristen Press puts one up, back post area. That's well wide. Morgan was making that run. U.S. throw it.
And just a couple things. Look, we're going to be nitpicking because this team's heading into the Olympics. But JP, the simple things like getting that second ball underneath when Mexico plays the ball forward and it goes past you. The U.S. isn't doing that. They're not making those recovery runs. It was press on this near side. And then in the attack, the sophistication that we discussed has been lacking in these early goings. That final ball.
Rapinoe. Christine Mewis in the turn, received it well to her sister Sam. A shot and a goal! Sam Mewis from Christine Mewis.
And just like that, the U.S. puts together a really good sequence. Rapinoe picks that ball off, and now options arise. Christy Mewis not forcing the decision, finds the open player at the top of the box. It's Sam Mewis, and then now she knows that all of the Mexican defense is on that opposite side. She can shift it to her right and have a go. It does take a little deflection to help it find its way into that corner. But that's a good goal from the U.S. The right decisions in the attacking third, making that extra pass, not forcing something that's not on. And how about that? Where's the Mewis parents? I'd love to see them right now.
23rd international goal. Sam Mewis from Christy Mewis. Ball is played back now to Orejel. See how Mexico handles this now. After conceding that game's first goal. Horan up the middle. Again, well received. Sam Mewis pass, though, denied. Lopez for Sanchez. Off the left foot. Dahlkemper will track it down. Horan. Sauerbrunn. That one got away on this wet field. Natural grass field. 40,000 seats. The state of Connecticut now. It is open to full capacity. It is a great crowd this evening despite the inclement weather. Sauerbrunn forced back. Nair for left foot. Sends that one into the seats. She was the backup at the last Olympics. She's the unquestioned starter for the U.S. these days. Liston Nair is on a terrific run. 71 games played, 42 of those are shutouts.
And when we talk about Julie Ertz being irreplaceable for the squad, Nair is entering into that category. Her backup, Adriana Franch, only has 4 caps.
Upfield, Dahlkemper will find O'Hara. We're in the 25th minute. It's a 1-0 lead for the U.S. Horan's pass, left side. Rapinoe. Kept it on the deck. The flick there. Christy Mewis, end line. Try to cut it back. It's a corner for the U.S.
Another simple combination. Alex Morgan trying to make that run behind, then checks off to get it to feet. That provides a space in behind for Christy Mewis, who had taken off earlier. It's a lovely little flick by Morgan.
Rapinoe is ready. Her club team is OL Reign. Played towards the middle. Morgan was waiting for that ball. She may get another go at it, but that one goes out of play. And it'll be a goal kick for Emily Alvarado. Megan's having a good laugh at that one.
Well, here's the nice little touch by Alex Morgan. Dies just right at that end line.
26th minute, a 1-0 U.S. lead on a Sam Mewis goal, assisted by her older sister, Christy Mewis. It's headed away. Mexico, Sanchez brought it down. That was too heavy of a touch, and it's O'Hara. Press. Kelly O'Hara on the right. Defended by Antonio, and the ball is out. And it's going to belong to Mexico.
And U.S. is not getting the numerical advantages in these wide areas. Ronaldo as well. Just to stay with her. O'Hara gets that last touch. I've seen it a couple times on this right side. It's actually been 2v4 in favor of Mexico. But the United States still trying to find a way through.
Monica Vergara. She was a teenager when she played for this team at the 1999 Women's World Cup. She has paid her dues with the youth team and also as an assistant coach on the Mexican national team. You can hear that rain now as this ball is played in, and there's out of goal. Couldn't use the hands there, but able to clear it with her feet. So So that heavy rain that was in the forecast, now here officially. Lopez, nice move. Deflected out by Sam Mewis. Mexico will have a corner. Here in the 28th minute. Antonio, who plays for Tigres, will take this in this driving rain. Off that strike near post, it's flicked out, a chance here. And that's cleared away. Nancy Antonio back on it. Another driven ball. Player slipping a little bit there. Palacios couldn't bring it down. Instead, it's Rapinoe. Megan keeping possession. Christy Mewis looking for Morgan. That's cut off by Antonio. And it's going to roll out of play for a U.S. throw-in.
Well, here's a look at Mexico's shot. Not a good clearance by the United States whatsoever, and I think that ball was heading on frame by number 3, Karina Rodriguez. She just opened up, tried to side foot it, and Becky Sauerbrunn should get credited with the save.
The live action, it's Christy Mewis, and that's tackled out for another USA corner. Getting close to the half-hour mark. U.S. on top, thanks to the Mewis sisters. Sam with a goal, Christy with the assist. This time, Kristen Press will take it instead of Rapinoe. Different look from that far side.
You just want to put these right on top of the goalkeeper in conditions like this.
Kristen Press on that in-swinger. Up for grabs. On a bounce, Sam Mewis. O'Hara. Back post area. Headed down by Horan. U.S. claims deflection. Referee says otherwise.
Here's another resurface. Kelly O'Hara leaves her boot, and then Lindsay Horan rises up. Got one player draped on her. Does look like it take a deflection off Espinosa.
You must have played in your career, Allie.
No. I said I don't play in these conditions, Coach. Put someone else in.
No, really? Haven't you?
No, absolutely. It's terrible.
What's it like? What do you do?
Your boots are heavy. Your jersey's heavy. You're slower. The ball is slower, but slicker. It's just a more awkward touch. For my game in particular, you can't dive the ball into the spaces you typically want, so it just changes the way you play. You've got to be really crisp and play more feet passes.
I liked your first answer, though, better. Ball is played long towards Rapinoe. Off the woodwork, it looked like. I don't think Alvarado got a touch, as now this ball is going to go out for a throw-in.
And didn't think that we were going to say this game would be as open as it is, but surely the United States is finding space, and behind it's Rapinoe gets on the end of that, finds Alex Morgan at the near post. And again, you've got to try to make connections really crisp in these conditions, and that one pings off the near post. Difficult finish.
That's a good point, though, what you said about it being more open, certainly, than we thought, right? I wouldn't call this Mexico bunkering in.
No, absolutely not. And they are taking risks. You can see now sending 6, 7 players into the attack.
That's good for them. They want to show that they can play. It's a free kick here for Mexico. 32nd minute. Short ball, Maria Sanchez putting one up. And couldn't catch it. It was too slippery there, it looked like. Did the next best thing to parry it out.
And that also is an answer to one of your questions. If the goalkeeper is unsure in moments like this is a tweener ball. is the back line going to get there? No, my goalkeeper's going to get there, but she's a little hesitant. And if you try to make a grab on that in these conditions, you might spill it. She opts to punch it, and it's the right decision.
The throw in from Lopez. U.S. with Morgan. Horan. 33rd minute. Sam Ewis with the game's only goal. Came in the 21st. O'Hara. Press. Sauerbrunn getting it wide. Rapinoe's pass blocked. And it belongs to Mexico. Sierra's throwing, taken away. Horan. Lindsay will send it forward. What a held. Got to it first. Antonio held by Mewis. Play continues. Horan picks it off.
And that's important. Horan reading that play right there. So often Julie Ertz was at the end and picking off possession for the United States. Horan read that well.
The Sanchez pass on the breakout. Jimena Lopez. Slowed down. It's O'Hara who broke it up. Press. Cutting ball. Christy Mewis dispossessed but fouled.
Been a few chippy moments out here. Sam Ewis, Bernal going at it. Bernal does well just to hold her off the ball. And then here's Christy Mewis sensing that second defender's arriving, tries to cut it behind and draws the foul.
Hey, forget the record, right, against one another. It's still USA versus Mexico, right?
That's true. Doesn't take on quite the same meaning yet with the rivalry that exists in the men's game. But with the investment that they're putting into their women's league, and I think they're finally getting behind their national team, it's only a matter of time before it shifts.
Yep. Mexico has to win some games against the U.S. to make it a real rivalry, but geographically it is. Long ball played into space. Look at the run back by O'Hara, but Sanchez got to it. Maria Sanchez in the box, blocked by Dahlkemper. May have saved a goal. It's a corner.
And Mexico does have pace in these wide areas. Sanchez is on to it. You can see Kelly Harris trying to make up the ground, stride for stride, but Sanchez just bodies her off, and now it's 1v1 against Dahlkemper. Dahlkemper does exactly what she should do. Continue to drive her outside and cut down that angle. So now, listen there, if she has to make a save, has a smaller one to do it, but Dahlkemper does it herself.
36th minute, a Nancy Antonio corner. Near post. Headed away and out of play. Mexico should have a throw-in. Captain Mayor is coming over. And now it's reversed. It's a U.S. throw-in from O'Hara on this near side. This is the send-off series. 2 games against Mexico, then it's on to Japan, where they'll play in Group G with Sweden, New Zealand, and Australia. Upfield, Sam Ewis with the game's only goal, looking for a second. Save by Alvarado.
Sam Ewis certainly feeling it. Rapinoe has a lot of time just to pick out that pass. Sam Ewis gets it on her right, and no pressure comes. She's going to try to bend that to the far post. It's a really good gap. Christy Mewis is the one who drives that back line back, and then Sam Ewis pops up in the space below.
Yeah, I thought Alvarado got it. She did not. It's just wide. Alvarado's clearance. Just giving it right back. Only a 5-4 edge in shots for the U.S.
And what did Vlaco tell us yesterday? He goes back and looks at every single shot that they concede, because that was clearly a problem.
Press to the right. That cross. Morgan was there, waiting for it. Mexico has been very competitive in this game against the U.S. That one's broken up. 38th minute. Sam Ewis still with the game's only goal. The goal is the 30th goal scored by the USA in this their 11th game of 2021.
Of which the Mewis sisters have combined now for 10 of them, so a third of their goals.
That one's blocked. First player on it is Mayor. Getting help upfield, but now we'll hold on to it. Saw nothing on, so we'll bring it back. Lopez.
Mayor's just a smart player. Was so good on the ball, yes, but her decision-making oftentimes spot on.
Mayor, so experienced, played in a couple of World Cups. Off Palacios. That's headed away. Mexico got to it first, though. A little lean in there. Won by Mayor. And now instead, it's Sam Ewis coming back. Rapinoe trying to go wide for O'Hara. It's a good recovery there by Maria Sanchez. Lopez. Mayor. Orejel. That's given away to the U.S. Horan. Getting closer to 100 caps for the U.S. Sam Ewis. Rapinoe in. Goal 2-0. Kristen Press. Continuing her hot streak.
And yes, credit to Press on this, but this is all Sam Ewis. One thing she has been working on is getting on the half turn between the lines, finding that space so she can get faced up. And you're going to watch her movement in this, and it's so good. Lindsay Horan decides to speed up the play, and Sam Ewis had pulled away, opened up that gap. Now she's taking out the midline, and it's a simple slip ball to Rapinoe, who's making that run, and Press doing exactly what she should do. Just come, arrive in that 6-yard box, and get the easy tap in. But that movement and motion by Sam Ewis to free herself up creates all the rest of this moment here for Kristen Press to get this little tap in, and no defenders around her in the end.
Her 62nd international goal. She has 15 goals and 18 assists now in this, her last of 36 games. No player statistically has been hotter than she has been lately. And she went from a sub in previous tournaments, Ali, to someone that you have to put on the starting lineup.
Yeah, and then the question is who's going to be alongside her, right? Because now with Lindsay Horan playing in that 6 role, she's not getting minutes at the 10 spot, where you think that's either Lavelle or Horan typically, and Ewis would be a sub. Christy Ewis, excuse me.
Lopez, left side. Ball crossed to the back post, nobody there. Off the Dunn flick. Then Christy Ewis. Mexico got it back. Bianca Sierra played into the box, but a true hop right to Alyssa Nair here in the 44th minute. Done. Ahead. Kristen Ewis. Press is able to receive it. Takes it. And maybe a bit too ambitious there.
Well, here's another look at the goal. And watch Sam Ewis's movement. She's backing the space, but the whole time leaving her body on the half turn. As soon as she gets it, now she's off and running. And then Kristen Press does well just to hold her space in the box. And a nice ball across by Rapinoe. But Sam Ewis, love that so much.
You can see the confidence, too, Ali, in Press's game over the last several months, I would say.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's another position, right, that right now I don't think there's answers to in those wing spots. If a Tobin Heath comes back, does that mean Press is no longer in the starting 11? Does that mean Rapinoe's no longer in the starting 11?
Well, Well, games every 3 days, right? 2 days of rest. They may all play. Here's Sam Lewis in, and that's knocked out of play.
No, certainly rotation will be utilized, but when the game's on the line, who's Vlaco turning to?
Right. 43rd minute. I'm sure these players can't wait for the halftime whistle to somewhat dry off.
Change gear, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would think. Press in that corner, delivering it near post, headed away, but in a bad spot. That's tagged though by Dahlkemper, who's looking for her first goal with the national team. Third minute, U.S. with a 2-0 lead. Goals by Sam Lewis and Kristen Press. Press, who scored the first goal in the history of the Q2 Stadium in Austin, gets one here tonight. Press will play it back. Christy Lewis. Crystal Dunn. Rapinoe. Christy Lewis on that left foot. It's deflected away, and communication there allowing Alvarado to make the simple pickup.
And again, it doesn't amount to much, but Dunn's run created that whole space underneath Christy Lewis. One of the things that the United States has been working on is creating space for each other when you are in that final third moment. There have been some good examples of it.
For the ball. It was Horan who won it. Sauerbrunn. What do you like, Allie, or dislike about this first half from the U.S.?
Some of the unselfish movement absolutely has been spot on from the U.S. and recognizing spaces like this, that it is okay to play 2 passes again to the attacking third.
Rapinoe. Play it in. And that's a corner that maybe they didn't have to concede. Alvarado and Orejel not communicating.
And I think you could say that it hasn't been as clean as you'd expect, but in these conditions, really difficult for these players.
Pino went near post. Sierra on that clearance. Mexico lost it. Recovers. Sauerbrunn nearing the end of this first half. Well, they're going to give up another corner if time permits. We're right up against the 45 minutes. Hearing no stoppage time. We'll wait and see. This could be the last kick of the half, though. Rapinoe puts one up. It'll bounce dangerously. Christy Lewis doesn't settle. Instead, O'Hara had the shot blocked. That's it. Halftime from East Hartford, Connecticut. Sam Lewis had the game's first goal in the 21st minute, and then Kristen Press added one in the 39th as well. After the break, Rob, Heather, and Alexi will take you through halftime. U.S. 2, Mexico, no score.
Sam Lewis and Kristen Press with the goals for the U.S. For the second half call, once again, the Hall of Famer, J.P. Dellacamera and Allie Wagner.
Thank you, Rob. Sam Lewis had the first goal, and we're going to see a change in goal, Allie. Adriana Franch, who we saw in the game against Jamaica, will earn her 6th cap.
And that's important to continue to give them experience.
So France is in. Looks like the only change for the U.S. and for Mexico, for that matter. We await the whistle, and now we're underway in the second half as that driving rain continues in East Hartford, Connecticut. Ball is cleared out. You wonder, Allie, will Mexico play the same way that they did in the first half, where they kept the game open? They did certainly not bunker in.
No, I would think they continue and stay the course. They created enough on the other side, and 2-0 at halftime. Decent scoreline for them.
Megan Rapinoe on the left. Look at this run by Dunn. Crystal Dunn will pick it up. The cross. And that one was out of play. What a run by Dunn.
And almost a carbon copy of the one in the first half that was sent in by Rapinoe. This time it's Dunn. Gets around the edge, and Alex Morgan, that timing, trying to get to that near post. Can't redirect it on frame.
It is Rapinoe who'll take the corner, as it was last touched by Mexico. Megan will drive it off the right foot. It'll bounce to the box. Quick flick from Dunn is blocked. Christy Mewis couldn't tag it. O'Hara putting one up. The U.S. tried to stay onside there as that ball went out. U.S. with a 2-0 lead. Goals by Sam Mewis from her sister Christy in the 21st minute. Then in the 39th, it was Kristen Press from Megan Rapinoe. This is Alvarado, pride of TCU. Dangerously played back, but Mexico was able to clear off the referee. She will restart play. The Dahlkemper pass to the right for Horan. That one's blocked. Mexico back on the ball. Mayor. That's taken away. Sauerbrunn. Dunn. Those two play together for Portland in the NWSL. Portland had 4 players on this squad. 8 of 10 NWSL clubs represented. Portland leading the way with those 4 picks. Dahlkemper out wide. Mayor's going for it. Mexico will collect it. And a break. Halfway line gained. Maria Sanchez will push it left. Sanchez, one of Mexico's better players in that first half. Up the left wing. Ball is played in, intended for Palacios and cleared. What a hell. And that's going to be given right back to Adriana Franch, also from the Portland Thorns. She was the 3rd goalkeeper at the 2019 Women's World Cup and a 2-time NWSL Goalkeeper of the Year. Sauerbrunn. Set long left side. Here's Dunn. Rapinoe. Christy Mewis is there. It's knocked away. And it's a USA throw-in. In for Dunn. It's blocked. Dunn will get it. To Rapinoe. And that ball was crossed out wide. '50th minute. U.S. with a 2-0 lead. These are the available subs. You want a deep bench? Look at those names. Corbin Heath we haven't seen since December. We're anxious to see her, Allie, to see how far she's come. She's had ankle and knee problems, so she's missed a lot of time.
Yeah, and by all accounts, it's been in good form in training at least.
Alvarado sends it forward. Mexico back on the ball. They've got a player down. Sierra. Under pressure. It's played back by Karina Rodriguez from UCLA. She, like others on this team, first caps came in 2021 under the new coach, Monica Vergara. Palacios.
there's that ball again to the weak side of the 6 against the United States to get out of the initial pressure from the U.S.
Sierra puts it forward. Mayor. Sanchez. Off her left foot, but right at Adriana French.
And it's always good to get a comfortable save under your belt if you're Adriana French, just getting in the match. Sanchez doesn't feel the pressure, knows she can unleash that shot. O'Hara delaying. Enough space there.
52nd minute. It's a USA throw-in on O'Hara's side. Sarabon. Done. Lindsay Horan. Done. Holding. Almost stripped of the ball. Foul by Daniela Espinosa. Second minute. The U.S. up by a couple of goals. That last sequence.
And a clear foul undone by Espinosa.
Sam Mewis in. And Morgan couldn't pull the trigger on it. Mexico tried to break out. Horan detained it somewhat.
Again, it's that crafty movement. Mayor did so well just to get on the opposite side of Iran, but that's where they're releasing and get into the attack. Mexico is.
Espinosa for Sierra. The right back all the way upfield. Sierra will play it across. Mayor couldn't get to that. Antonio's pass. Mayor forced back by Christy Mewis. Almost given away to the path of Alex Morgan. And lost by Lopez. Lindsay Horan bringing it up. Her 97th appearance for the U.S. Mexico collecting. Antonio. Into the middle. Right side. Sierra. Espinosa. A little too fancy there. And then Mayor with the foul on Horan. Being given a verbal warning by Kate Correlema.
Yeah, and these two have been going at it all day. Horan's got the positioning. Mayor with the foul.
Sauerbuck. Dahlkemper. O'Hara pushing up on the right. From Mewis. Sam Mewis to press. Sam Mewis. Ball is still loose. Morgan was trying to find it. Horan came in after it. It's Mayor under pressure. Mexico was able to clear it upfield. The Dahlkemper feed. O'Hara plays for the Washington Spirit of the NWSL. Will find Dunn. Rapinoe's pass. Dunn with a step on Espinosa. Inline cross. Headed high by Morgan.
And it's too bad for Alex Morgan because there's a nice little 3v3 on this left flank. Dunn gets the step in behind, takes a touch, and now she's got time to get her head up. Alex Morgan, times her run well, actually, to get between the center back and that left back, but can't get up and above that ball and keep it on frame. Was fading away from her.
Crystal Dunn on it. To feet. Morgan. Playing it wide. Passing, it looked like, for press.
Dunn
angle.
Yeah, Dunn's had a couple nice passes now to take out the lines.
Espinosa is down for Mexico. They have not made a change yet. They have a few veterans on their bench, but they also have a lot of younger players as well. Ovalle is going to be coming in. She's one of those younger players. Lisbeth Ovalle for Espinosa. First Mexico sub. Ovalle plays for Tigres.
Here's a look at what happened earlier. Took Espinosa out of the game ultimately. Looks like her legs gets caught up underneath in that challenge with Dunn.
Good effort tonight from Daniela Espinosa. Here is Dunn. Back for Sauerbrunn. If you joined us late, this is a much wider open game than any of us anticipated. Full credit to Mexico for coming out the way that they did. And it's been end-to-end entertainment in this driving rain. Antonio down that left flank with that nice ball. Mayor was making the run, but it's cut off by Dahlkemper. And then it goes up across that sideline. Throw in Mexico. Good job by Dahlkemper. Used to play with the North Carolina Courage. Mexico on the ball. Played up. Nobody there, though, in white to get it. Off Mewis. Christy Mewis battles for it, helped to win it, and it goes upfield. Played all the way back to Alvarado. Austin FC versus Portland Timbers. That's coming up next here on FS1. Austin FC have played a couple of games at home. Still looking for that first goal at home. Still looking for that first win in front of one of the best atmospheres you'll see in all of Major League Soccer. That's coming up next right here. Dunn on the wing, left side. Sauerbrunn getting closer to the hour mark. Down the right. Ball got away from O'Hara, but she'll recover it. And then out for a corner. Nope, it's going to be a goal kick instead. Thought it was a corner.
And O'Hara's still having a discussion.
Yeah. Well, Allie, they're expecting to play, you know, during the dead of the summer, right, in Japan, and all the heat and humidity that they're talking about. Not tonight. I'm playing it across. Headed down. Mayor going for it against Horan. There's a big collision. Pushed wide by Palacios.
And it's a little thing that I've been noticing, JP, but it looks like Bernal, you've got the double sixes from Mexico, and anytime the U.S. gets around the outside, Bernal is sliding into that back line to make it a back five. And it doesn't mean you can't hit those areas centrally, but I think that cutback ball is on if the U.S. can get wide and get that service where they're pulling it against the movement of that back line.
Ball is played across on the right. O'Hara. Left-footed pass was blocked.
And it's the weak side six, so if it's not Bernal, it's going to be Antonio that's dropping into that back line. It just happened again.
Free kick here for Mexico. Look at the record under Vlatko And then
Not bad.
No. But he talked yesterday about the pressure of the job, but he said he enjoys it more than anything. But as you know, Allie, they're the top dog, right? Last 4 years, #1. They've won 2 World Cups. They're favored to win the Olympics, right? So that is pressure.
Yeah, and
He's got the best players, but it's pressure.
there's nowhere to go but down, hypothetically. I guess you can go sideways, and that's getting wins, but that's the expectation.
But sideways is down for this team, right?
That's true, too.
Becky Sauerborn talked to us yesterday about their expectations. They're lofty, but she said they thrive under that pressure. Everybody wants to beat the U.S. Easier said than done.
And I think the one thing that surprised me in his tenure is that the defensive stability.
Here's Dunn on the left. Overtaken. Nice couple of moves there by Hawaii.
JP, just that defensive stability has been the focus. I was expecting more on the offensive side of things, and I shouldn't have, knowing how his teams have played in the WSL. It's always been defense first, but it was a bit of not a path that I expected to be taken.
Here's Sam Mewis in the middle. Christy Mewis. Dunn. Christy Mewis, that shot was blocked. Appeals for a handball. It's going to be cleared out. It's a throw-in for the U.S. This time they'll take their time with it. Just have a look at Emily Sonnet warming up. Others are too. Mewis, Christy, that is, in for her sister, Sam. That could have been a second goal from the Mewis sisters in collaboration.
That was a small thing, but it was a nice change of pace from the U.S. on the throw, and they looked like they were taking their time. Then all of a sudden, Alex Morgan first, Christy Mewis is running off of it, and it completely caught Mexico off guard and gave Sam Mewis that look at the back post.
Sam Mewis with the game's first goal. Kristen Press with the second. No scoring here in the second half yet. Laid back by Mayor. Ball set ahead on this right side. The fresh legs of Hawaii. On her left foot, tackled by Dunn. She recovered. Good job, though, by Dunn. Great two-way player for this U.S. team, and still somewhat underrated, Allie. Doesn't get enough credit for the way she plays.
I think everyone knows how talented she is, and to be as versatile as she is, to play in each line and to be able to impact the game in each position. It's remarkable at this level.
Yeah. When you think about it, to impact the game at any position, it's not just that you can play any position, but have that impact.
Yeah, I think that what she's got working against her is that she's a fullback.
Yeah, they don't get enough credit.
No.
Sauerbrunn for Dahlkemper, 65th minute. U.S. with a 2-0 lead over Mexico. Sam Mewis pass ahead. Rapinoe left it. Horan for Dunn. Crystal Dunn deep. Playing it across. And it was a nice Alvarado save. U.S. keeps it. And then it'll go out. It's a goal kick.
And this is well choreographed from the U.S. It's just an up-back through play. The movement off of each other with Lindsey Horan coming underneath Rapinoe, and then Dunn. I think she's going for goal there.
Yep.
She's inside the 18, so now you've got your choice. You can have a go, or you can cut that back for a teammate. Test the goalkeeper.
Horan passed up a shot. I thought she was going to tag that. Back the other way, it's Mexico. In the 66th minute, that ball is going to go out between the benches. A U.S. throw-in. In the Olympics, you'll get 5 subs, but tonight this is a friendly, so up to 6, plus 2 concussion subs. Here is Morgan. That's blocked. 2 potential concussion subs, I should say. Here is the Dunn ball for Horan. See how long Vlatko Andonovski gives these players. He's only made the one change at halftime. He changed goalkeepers. Moving it ahead. Mayor. Good hard work there by Christy Mewis. The advantage call there. For the U.S., it's Rapinoe. Getting closer and off her left foot. It's wide of Alvarado. Megan will be celebrating a birthday in a few days as well. She'll turn 36.
And this could have been one of those attacks that was just too quick for the U.S. Horan's making a short pass, and Rapinoe had a couple options, and Alex Morgan, another player on that left side. She goes for goal, and that's the patience that you're talking about. The United States in this evolution of their attack, sometimes not existing.
It's hard when you have that many stars, right? Sometimes to have patience. You know what you can do, right? You want to make the big play, and you're capable of doing that.
It's a balance, absolutely.
Press in. Overshot Rapinoe. Hawaii's pass, somewhat risky. Press. Pulling it back. Horan. O'Hara. Press coming back to receive it. Has some help. Lindsey Horan off her right foot. She tried to chip it. Mayor got to it. Sanchez. And that ball was out on the far sideline. Quieter second half for Sanchez. They really haven't found her like they did in the first half.
And I'm sure there's some adjustments that were made, minor ones by Vlatko, that we can't even see.
But adjustments nonetheless,
Yeah.
right? There's Dunn, right at the end line, and then lost it out. Mexico throw in, 69th minute. 2-0 U.S. lead. Palacios. Stumble there. Hawaii. Palacios. They're trying to pin her in, and they do with Christy Mewis. For Dunn. Picked off. Mayor. The captain will play it left. Orejel. Defended by Morgan. Stripped by the U.S. And then Mexico got it back. Look at the aggressive play there by Sauerbrunn. At least slowing down Mexico.
And Ovia missed an opportunity because Becky Sauerbrunn had that aggressive step, and the gap was on and behind. There was a runner in Mayor. Becky's done well, though, stepping up, and that's the balance between her and Dahlkemper. The cover and the pressure has been there tonight.
Antonio pushing it forward. That one's blocked. Horan in the circle. 70th minute. Long ball. Goes towards Rapinoe. Megan catching up to it on the left. Then the cross. Denied. But it should be a... Well, I thought that ball was out. Now it is on the sideline. I thought it was going to be a corner, but it's not. What a career she's had, Megan Rapinoe. And keep in mind, she's overcome 3 ACL tears in her career.
I didn't realize she had 3.
We remember one bad one in Hawaii. Ball was played long. It was right after 2015 World Cup, as I recall.
And then going into 2016 Olympics, right? And she made the squad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was one of the controversial picks. And you're almost going into this Olympics similarly with Tobin Heath and Julie Ertz trying to make their way back from injury. But you do have a cushion, especially with that alternates of 4.
Where do do you think, Ali, about the news that we're hearing about expanding the rosters now to 22 from the Olympics?
I think it benefits the United States 100%, and with the depth that this team has.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming. The Olympic Committee doesn't usually change the rules, especially this late. Ball crossed is wide.
They didn't consult you?
No. I would have said a long time ago, more than 18. I would have said 23.
Then you're in agreement.
Here's the U.S. Quick shot off the post. Alvarado reached for it, may have gotten a finger on it, but seemed like it went off the woodwork for sure.
I don't think Rapinoe's moved since she struck that ball.
Mexico wants to make another change. Palacios, we're hearing, will be coming out. She's on the ball. Nice spin move there. And the foul. Free kick for Mexico. We should see the change here as Bernal went down.
Oh, here's a look at the strike. It's a turnover right at the top of the 18 to the least person you want to have find that ball, Megan Rapinoe, and it's an awkward first touch, so she has to go with the outside of her right, trying to bend it into that far post. It's a good look between two defenders as well.
Look who's in.
Okay.
Tobin Heath. Crowd recognizes that. And Emily Sonnet will come in as well for Rapinoe. It's a big moment for Tobin Heath. Not seen her since December. She is a special player that the U.S. could have certainly used to break down some bunker defenses that they've seen over the last few games.
And she lives to play this game. I can only imagine how excited she is to be back. And you saw it from Rapinoe, the look on her face. They're excited to have her back.
Christy Mewis was the other player who came out. Christy made a big contribution on this night, especially setting up that first goal from her sister Sam. So confirming two changes there for the U.S.
And Macario looks like she's in.
Look at Heath. Shot taken off the post and in. Literally her first touch.
This is just absurd. Alex Morgan on the reverse pass and a couple touches by Tobin Heath. And no one expects that. Absolutely no one is thinking she is going to shoot this ball right now. Alvarado has no clue, no chance. And welcome back, Tobin Heath.
3-0 lead now for the USA. We see Macario is out on the field, so we'll have to see who is checked out for the U.S. Besides Christy Mewis, Dunn will drop it back. Meanwhile, Palacios left for Katy Martinez as Mexico makes a change.
It looks like O'Hara is out with Sonnet on that right side.
Yeah. Welcome back, Tobin.
We've missed you.
Didn't take long, did it? Didn't take long at all. Here's Dunn. The press pass is blocked. Press shot. Pushed wide by Alvarado. Heath on the rebound to Sam Mewis. That's cleared by Orejel. Here's Sonnet. Knocked away. Throw in U.S. You can see how much that goal meant not only to Heath but also to her teammates celebrating her return. Long time out with injury. Heath got a piece of that ball. Mexico will clear, but not far enough out. Dahlkemper. Move to the right. Heath. U.S. getting ready to make 2 more changes. Here's Macario. Nice on the back heel. Horan. Left side press in the box. The ball played across is cleared. It was a nice touch by Macario. Plays for Lyon. She was one of 4 alternates to the team, but if they go to 22, she's on the team. Macario with it. Nice ball. Heath in. Foot save. Rebound. Press. Wide. Well, everything's changed since Heath has come into the game. And now a couple more changes, I think for both teams, actually. Lloyd and Davidson for the U.S. Reyes for Mexico. Alex Morgan's coming out. Carly Lloyd will replace her. Look where Carly ranks in the all-time list, 4th in goals. Crystal Dunn is also going to be coming out of the game for Tierna Davidson.
Not bad to have 2 players in your top 5 of all-time scoring still playing. Heading into an Olympics. Lloyd ahead of Morgan. One replacing the other.
And that could be a normal substitution pattern at the Olympics. You could also start one in one game, one in another, with only the 2 days rest.
She had a couple looks tonight, Alex Morgan did.
She did.
I think she'll be unhappy she wasn't able to put any of those away, but otherwise rather quiet. And that's the life of a striker, especially against teams if they are going to sit in, and that's not what Mexico's been doing. But to get a few touches around the 18 and to have to capitalize when they do arrive.
Reina Reyes, meanwhile, came in at the same time as those U.S. subs, replacing Rebecca Bernal. Reyes plays at the University of Alabama. She's from Garland, Texas. Part of the U.S. connection on the Mexican squad. Mexico in white now, trailing 3-0. Sam Lewis on it. Looking for Lloyd. Will be 39 during the Olympics. She'll be the oldest player to ever play in the Olympics for the U.S. women's national team. She's now played in 3 different decades. Her numbers are staggering. Staggering.
And growing up playing with her, if you would have asked me if she'd be a player that would have that kind of longevity at this level with this team, I would have said absolutely not.
And yet she's going to play in her 4th Olympic tournament, matching Tobin Heath as this ball is played across. Also matching future, soon-to-be inductee into the Hall of Fame, Christy Rampone. That's it. No one else can make that claim. 4 Olympic rosters for the U.S.
Amazing.
Press on the move. Has Lloyd left. Carly's got it. End line. Lloyd looking. Tried to drop it for a press. That's tackled out. Should be a corner for the U.S. What a scoring ratio. And a majority of her goals came after she turned 30. Once more of a midfielder, now really a number 9. Press ready for the corner in the 84th minute. Towards the middle, headed once. Macario sends it all the way back for possession of Dahlkemper. Putting it up for grabs, headed down towards Horan. Now it's going to be cleared. Another miscommunication at the back. Orejel and Alvarado. I'm just listening to the music. Ball is played all the way back to Dahlkemper. Sauerbrunn, 4-time NWSL Defender of the Year. Back for Dahlkemper, who won that award once. Headed up. Sam Mewis. Broken up by Reyes. Up the wing it goes. Deflected out. It's a Mexico throw-in in the 82nd minute. I think if you're Mexico, though, Ali, forget the score right now. You've got to be impressed with some of the things you're seeing tonight.
Yeah, the confidence to play under pressure being the premier one.
Here's Sauerbrunn. Davidson. Shot taken wide by Press. Another sub is coming in. Dania Perez coming in, replacing Jimena Lopez. That is the 4th sub for Mexico. We're into the Copa America quarterfinals, and it all happens Friday night. We've got Peru versus Paraguay, and then Brazil versus Chile at 7 p.m. Eastern on FS1. And then more action, Uruguay, Colombia, Argentina versus Ecuador. Some of the biggest names in the soccer world on display Friday and Saturday on FS1, and one of those games on FS2. 83rd minute, the U.S. with this lead. I wonder how different the game will be on the 5th, Ali, when the same two clubs meet in the same stadium, hopefully with different weather.
Yeah, and you would presume different lineup as well.
Yeah. Probably for both teams. Off this deflection, Tierna Davidson pushed it forward. Off Sauerbrunn for Davidson. Becky will move it back towards Dahlkemper. Emily Sana. Macario's pass, Heath looking, ball played in, and Alvarado kept it in front of her.
It's just a glimpse, but Macario and Heath together on that same side, it could be something quite beautiful.
Davidson moving it ahead. The Lloyd cutting ball too far away from Sam Mewis. Sam Mewis looking. Deflected ball cleared by Mexico, not out of danger yet. Headed back by Davidson. Lloyd, that's blocked. Haran. Short ball to Davidson. Sauerbrunn. Davidson on the left foot in front. The 4th goal was scored by the U.S. It's Kristen Press again.
Coming off of back-to-back Woman of the Match's performance in the Summer Series, Kristen Press now sitting on 2 goals. This is a really good ball by Davidson. She's got a lot of time, yes, but there's still some accuracy that has to be picked out at that near post because Press has a runner tracking her, and the back post has other players collapsing, so it's got to be spot on, and boy, is that connection right. Kristen Press gets it on the half bounce. That is a difficult finish. Past the near post to redirect that on frame. That is a thing of beauty.
Especially in these conditions.
Hey, that's your only option. Just a very shallow swing.
63rd international goal for Press. 2nd on the night. Sam Mewis back the other way. 1v2 at the moment. end line. She tried to cut that ball back, but it goes out. Well, the fans that came out tonight, despite this bad weather, have been treated to a nice USA performance. The goals have been all well done, all well created.
And then you start to get even more flair with Tobin Heath coming in, Kat Macario. A couple nice moments between those two players.
Yeah, if you're Sweden and you're scouting this game, interesting, right? U.S. always seems to play Sweden, by the way, in all of these tournaments. They'll play them again, opening up the group stage. Here is Sam Mewis. That's knocked away.
I do think that Sweden will be happy that they're seeing Mexico find some moments to get forward.
Laid off. It's off Lloyd. Davidson. Sarver. Horan. U.S. will send that one into the box. Off Lloyd, who will recover. Lloyd went for goal and looked like deflected out to U.S. corner. Goals, 10 assists in her last 22 games for Carly Lloyd. Kristen Press will take another corner tonight in the dying minutes. She'll send it. Back post. Loose, cleared up the middle. Bad spot. Sauerbrunn. On it, setting it in. That's off Horan. Tagged by Davidson. That's blocked. U.S. keeping the pressure on, though. It's well won there by Lloyd. Wide from Macario. Macario looking for her own shot. Passes instead. Off Sam Mewis. Trying to head it down. Cleared away from her. Hawaii. Mexico has not had much possession lately. It's all U.S. The subs have come in and made an impact. Cario's pass up the middle. Wanted Lloyd. That's cleared. Mayor. Took a bit of a nudge there from Tierna Davidson. Mexico's ball. The equal pay chance. Let's play back. Mexico will take over possession. It's a 4-0 U.S. lead. But Mexico has shown some promise in this under Monica Vergara, their new head coach. This is only her 6th game in charge. Davidson. Ball is played forward towards Press. Deflected ball out.
Yeah, and it's an interesting game tonight, right, JP? Because the conditions were difficult. I think the U.S., when you go into the Olympics and these send-off series, you want to develop positive feelings. You want to get that confidence, the chemistry going. You want to work on little details, as Vlatko mentioned earlier in the broadcast. And I think it wasn't the cleanest of matches. But the thing you can take out is they got 4 goals. They got pressed too. Mewis contributing from midfield, and Heath, most importantly, getting minutes to get back into the fold. That's big for this U.S. team.
That is the final whistle. So the U.S. gets a win. 2 goals from Kristen Press. Sam Mewis gets 1. Her sister Christy got an assist. And then the return of Tobin Heath, who scores pretty much on her first touch of the ball in the 74th minute. So a lot of good news tonight in East Hartford, Connecticut, as the USA win the first of 2 send-off games. We go back to Rob Stone in the studio.
JP, Ali, thank you. There's Tobin Heath, 34th international goal. Sam Mewis opened up the scoring in the 21st minute. The U.S. women now 43-game unbeaten streak, second longest in program history. Heather, who were the big winners on the night for you?
I think Christy Mewis coming into that midfield, proved that she can be patient in that final third. I think that her switching the point of attack, particularly with her left peg out wide, is very dangerous for the U.S. Kristen Press, again, scoring goals, fantastic goals, by the way, scored tonight from so many different ways. I think that the team won tonight because the variety of their attack was, I think, the winner for me. Appropriate shots from distance, unselfish crosses, that extra pass in the final third that we've been missing. So I think collectively for me, it was a really fun and great game.
Yeah, Kristen Press continues to be awesome. Tobin Heath getting on the field and looking very, very good, because that is going to play into this continued competition. So that is awesome. We'll see if Earth shows up in the future. We talked about both of those players. For a lot of people, are starters, but they got to be healthy and they got to be able to do it. Another 0 for this U.S. team. And as always, no one got hurt.
Fifth straight shutout win. You were talking about Kristen Press. 5 goals, 4 assists now here this calendar year, and you see the smiles and the excitement on the team. Well, you saw the smiles on Tobin Heath when she came in and got the goal. It wasn't just her smiles, Heather. It was the entire group smiling and celebrating.
Unbelievable. I mean, you can just imagine that it probably has been a stressful and hard time for Tobin Heath. This race against the clock to get back for the Olympics. And there were so many questions. Would she be ready? Is this the right selection? And what was it? It was essentially her first touch of the game, and what a class finish. So that woman right there is a very special player, and if there was any questions if she'd be ready for the Olympic Games, well, we all know the answer to that.
She is a game changer for sure. Had her head popped up, took a look at the keeper and said, you're out of position, and I'm going to make you pay for it. So the U.S. now unbeaten in their last 43 matches. They've scored in their last 72 games. The top-ranked team in the world, looking stronger than ever ahead of another run at